Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today, as always, General Ravi Shankar, and we're going to be talking about one weapon that somehow India seems to possess in its armory but never seems to take it out. That is media. Now, media has been weaponized, whether we like it or not, across the world, and we somehow seem to be very hesitant about showing our own tools. To talk more about this, let's welcome General Ravi Shankar. General Ravi Shankar, namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel, sir. How are you?
Namaskar, and thanks a lot for inviting me over uh, to this joint broadcast. An interesting topic, information and media and all that, which you
Thank you,
rightly
sir.
said.
And yeah, just give me 1 second, sir. I want to tell a couple of things before we jump into this. Viewers, this is coming live to you from both Gunnershot as well as P Gurus. Request all of you to subscribe if you have not already subscribed to the channel where you are watching it, and also like this video. General Ravi Shankar has had several seminars on information warfare, and we are going to draw from his experiences from that into this conversation. And just to set the stage, General Ravi Shankar, I'm going to draw some parallel because this has now become front and center. What we are seeing in Canada, what we are seeing in the United States, India doesn't seem to have a response. So I'm just going to tell you, viewers, what is just simple parallels, may not be accurate, but fairly close. Qatar, teeny, mini, minuscule country. Al Jazeera, huge loudmouth. Russia, Radio Moscow. America, Voice of America, although you don't listen to it much these days, CNN has taken over that role in some extent. For India, is it NDTV, sir?
No, hardly by any stretch, by no stretch of imagination, it's NDTV or Times or India Today and all. They are no. I mean, we don't have any. To be very honest, we don't have any. We don't have any externally, we don't have any internally also. If you look at Al Jazeera, like you rightly said, tiny mini Qatar. Where does Qatar get power from? It gets power from Al Jazeera. Why? I did a show on on Qatar with General Dushyant about 8-9 months back when our naval officers were held back there. So Qatar gets power from two things. One is it's got a lot of gas and oil and all that. The second is Al Jazeera. Why Al Jazeera? Because it enables Qatar to give a platform to everyone to speak their voice. Now, for example, an Iranian chap comes and speaks on Al Jazeera and he speaks against the Saudis. Okay. So then the Saudis are on the defensive. Then they give a chance to a UAV guy to speak against Hezbollah or something like that. So every guy they are allowed to speak against the other, right? And as a result, everyone wants to get on to Al Jazeera and prove himself to be good. So which means Qatar gets influence. You know, the power of influence, information, and media. And when they don't have much social media and all that nonsense. It's just one TV channel, Al Jazeera, with which they control the entire, uh, you know, the Muslim world. So there is a lot to learn from them. It's not only this thing. You look at the Chinese media. The Chinese have bought up media. They have bought up media in America. They have bought up media in Australia. They have bought up media in complete Southeast Asia. They have bought up their own media. What was there? South China Morning Post. First, Jack Ma brought it. Now Jack Ma has been canned, and now it is owned. South China Morning Post used to be giving you balanced views once upon a time, but now it gives only Chinese views, right? So the or for that matter, you look at what's happening in Ukraine. What are you hearing? The more powerful the information is, that side gets the coverage, gets the eyeballs, gets the thing, and that gets your mind. And today we are living in an era of cognitive warfare. So if you're living in cognitive warfare and if you're not cognizant of the power of information, uh, you lost it. And you could win a battle, you could win a war, you could win anything, you could be on the right side of the truth. You might be correct, everything. It doesn't matter. People lose and paint it as a victory. And I'll give you examples. And information is such a powerful weapon that it can kill a nation, it can defeat a nation. And for some reason, I don't understand why, like you said, in India, we're very poor at it. Even now, the narrative in this India Canada spat is not of India, it's more of Canada, right? Uh, None of us go. I mean, you and I talking about India has no value. When India doesn't talk, you look at uh, the narrative of Israel. You see the Benjamin Netanyahu, he comes and he now talks to the Gazans. Yesterday he was talking to the Lebanese. 3 days back he was talking to the Iranians. He was directly addressing them for a better future and whatever. Right? So he's communicating. He's using media as a tool of war to split opinion in that nation. Right? So then you see the Muslim world, and especially those who are supporting Palestine. They might be just 100, 200 people in one street corner. But that the way it is filmed, the way it is shown as if the whole London is on fire, New York is on fire, Germany is on fire, everyone is on fire, and as if the Muslims have taken over the world. Okay, and it's beamed all over, and it's huge. So that defeats Israel completely. People say, okay, don't ban Israel, don't give them money, don't support them. They pressure on the governments. Then the governments have started reacting. I'm not saying it's correct or wrong. All I'm trying to say is how media influences the perception of people. So whether you fire a gun or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you win a war or not is secondary. The cognitive warfare has taken over everything. And it's going on. It's playing nation to nation, people to people, media to media. So, I mean, these are my views. Let's yeah, let's have it. This is an interactive affair. Ask me questions, and we'll take it off from there.
Thank you, General Ravi Shankar. And viewers, General Ravi Shankar has a slide deck that he has used in his course material. Part of that we are going to look at it today because he's going to prove some of the observations he made in his speech now. And I have a question for all of you. You know, there are, I mean, I think it'll take you about half an hour to click through all the channels that are available on your cable box, set-top box. Just go up, 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 right? It'll take you half an hour. Assume that you want to just see what is there on each one, 10, 20 seconds per channel. I'm trying to say that there are 999 channels or something in that ballpark in India. Tell me, in your opinion, viewers, let us narrow it down to 100 because only English channels, or even down to 50 English channels. These are all India based. Republic TV, NDTV, India Today, XYZ. Tell me or tell us, in your opinion, which has the best content, which is most suited to be something that can show the viewpoint of India to the world. And like General Ravi Shankar laughed it off that NDTV is not it. The reason I intentionally said NDTV is because General Ravi Shankar, NDTV managed to be the one India source in many countries like in Western Europe or UK or in anywhere else. Like, for example, you go to some other country, you want to find out about news about India, and you say, let me see what Indian channels they have, and you will see NDTV if they are covering Indian channels. South Africa, for example, or Middle East, or wherever. That's why I said NDTV. I thought that was the reason why Adani bought that, because he has a tool which he can use across the world. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So, viewers, question is, what channel do you think has the best equipment with the content and with a history that can actually be a very effective communicator for the Indian government? Answers as we go through this website with his presentation. If there is any answers from you guys, I will show that on this TV, and I'll tell you why it is not true. Let's go. Let's over to you, sir.
Yeah. Just put the deck on.
Yeah.
See, the question is, can India fight media wars? Right? So let's see. I'll quickly go through this. I'll not right. Media is a tool of war. Let's have no doubt. For over 3 years, I taught this subject in the Indian Institute of Mass Communication to those officers who are doing a PRO course and all that there. Right? So that's what I'm basing it on my experience there. When you look at this background which we use, see all the issues which are in information warfare or media warfare, whatever you call it, it's propaganda, manipulation, jamming, spoofing, disinformation, right? Social media, opinions, the works, anything you can think of. I have a better word for it, and I call it cognitive warfare. It's cognition. It's catching your mind, your cognitive abilities, your ability to sense, feel, smell, and think is all put together and being made to understand things the way someone else wants you to understand it. That's the thing. Okay. Now, today is an era of multi-domain warfare. Now, this slide I talk to the high and mighty of India and the low and anyone, no one of India, and all of you who are watching this. These are the domains in which war is going on. War is no more in land, air, and sea. Those are the traditional domains, right? War is now extended to space, cyberspace, nuclear, and the electromagnetic spectrum, EW. And that those are the technology domains. Then you have the fundamental domains of economy, diplomacy, politics, and ideology, which are in blue circles. And then the cognitive domains, which are influence operations, legal operations, public opinion, part of this information disinformation campaign, right? And then you have the other domains, right? Resource domains, energy and resources, health, climate change. So all these are resource domains. All these are all interrelated. And the technology in this is very important because technology underpins all other domains. Whatever happens in the technology domain radiates into the other domains. And today, this cognitive domain of information, public opinion, influence, legal is completely manipulated and underpinned by technology. AI. I was giving you an idea. Cyber. Okay. Tomorrow it will be quantum. So many. Okay. And then, media is like a gun, and knowledge is ammunition. Now, engagement of a target is no different than using media to engage a target. Yeah, I mean, in fact, there's a proper analysis I used to teach about how you go about doing engagement of a target with media. And that's no different from gunnery. Let me, if sometime I have to tell all this to you, I'll go through with it. Okay, then today we are living in an age of ideology. Look at our adversaries. You forget about America and the world and all that. Therefore, to me, who's sitting in India, they are all far away. My immediate problems is these two people who are sitting in the west and the north. One follows radical Islam, the other follows hardcore communism. What is my ideology on which I'm going to fight them? Is it democracy? Is it Hinduism? Is it secularism? Yeah, 1 minute. I'll just finish it and then we'll take it. And then, who are my people who are going to help me fight these jokers? Because a whole lot of the West also have problems with these ideologies. They profess that they are on your side. Are they on your side? Right? Every day you see they are not on your side. What's happening in Canada very, very clearly tells you no one is on your side except yourself. So how do you fight this? Yeah. Now, sorry, Sree Iyer, yours.
No worries,
Your
sir.
take.
Yes, thank you. Couple of things. We did, check to see if notifications are coming. They're getting a little delayed, but it doesn't hurt for all of you to like this video. We need many more eyeballs. And look at the very clever way General has portrayed the arrows. One is green, the other is red, the third one is saffron. That is for India. We all know that, right? Now, the question that I had asked all of you: which channel do you think is best equipped to reflect India's point of view? And Sachin, if you can just show all the answers that have been got, because I would then tell you which we think, both General and I think, because we have both been on that platform, is the best suited. Keep going, please. Not P Gurus. We are not a TV channel, but thanks.
Okay. So people think, yeah. Okay.
Sir, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. What I would like to tell you is, see, you're talking of what represents India, but does it represent India and convince others? Will Republic TV or NDTV or Vion or anyone convince others? Does it have the tools to convince others? I'll just show you issues. You know, let me put it very bluntly. Arnab Goswami or Rahul Kamal or Rajdeep Sardesai or whoever the anchor
Rahul Shivshankar, sir.
getting
Rahul Shivshankar.
Rahul Shiv,
Rahul
yeah,
Shivshankar.
even Rahul Kamal, who's on India Today, and Rahul Shivshankar. I mean, I'm right, or Rajdeep Sardesai. All these chaps who are anchors, they get six chaps, and there's a shouting match which goes on. It doesn't project anything out of India. What it projects out of India is there's a fish market. You see,
Yeah.
it's an international fish market. All these which you have shown, right? And if you think you show me one channel or one media house or one social media thing from abroad which gives you a fish market. Zero, right? So there's a big difference between what you people are seeing. That's what I'm saying. The perception, cognitive warfare is what you're cognizant of. Okay. That is where we are getting defeated. I will just go ahead. Yeah, next. You're next. Right, my head. Now you look at this. This is the power of the visual. For those of you who don't know, this is a picture of this Vietnamese girl who was bombed out, naked Vietnamese girl, about 8 or 12 years old, I don't remember, 8 years old, I think, who was pictured by a Vietnamese photographer, uh, all people running away from a napalm strike. This picture shook America and defeated America in the Vietnam War. After that, America stopped fighting virtually. Mentally, they were out. Just one picture. Okay. Now you look at Balakot. Balakot is, we say, we went and struck Jagbatop, destroyed militancy, all that. But even before the IAF or the army, after the whole thing was over, they could get on to the media. They didn't even get onto the media. Before that, the ISPR of Pakistan were out and they launched full-fledged information warfare. And they showed a picture of a dead cow and say, oh, these missiles hit only that. So the whole thing got busted. Media-wise, we lost it completely. To the extent they convinced everyone that the IAF didn't do a good job. The view in the Western world is that was a failure. I mean, you have to look at hard facts. I know the reality, but whom do you convince? And those chaps are expendable. So Pakistan, it doesn't matter. Another 200 chaps die, it doesn't matter. But you lost the media war, you lost the perception war. Pakistan came out the stronger state. Now you look at this is ISIS. Now everyone talks of ISIS, ISIS, ISIS. What were they? There were about 1,500 poorly equipped ISIS fighters, dusty pickup trucks, second-hand AKs. These chaps, everyone hides their offensive. These chaps broadcast the offensive, right? They wanted to know everyone about it. They put out images of horror that they burned people, shot people, made sex slaves, this, that, all that. So what happened? The Iraqi army ran. Mentally, they were defeated and they ran. So when those chaps ran, what did these chaps do? They picked up the weapons of the Iraqi army and became strong. Same thing has happened today in Taliban. You see, American army, they got defeated. You think American army got defeated in a fight? They just got, they just over. Which is the last image you had about the American army quitting Afghanistan? A plane taking off and one Afghan falling off the wheel. That's my last image. Such a poor image. Okay. So, and mind you, the Iraqi army, when ISIS defeated them, were over 30,000 people, and these were some 1,300 people. You look at the stone pelting, Intifada type of stone pelting in Kashmir, it took our life out. Literally took our life out because people used to throw stones at us and people used to get hurt and we couldn't fire back. And they were well broadcast all over the countryside. We were working virtually with two hands tied behind our back. Media, hard with soft thing, media projected, and as if you're a victim. This is the article which I picked off from an American magazine. Yeah, please.
Just go back to the previous slide, sir. India actually found an effective counter to this. They tied up one of these stone pelters to the front of the Jeep and then they stopped pelting. But then what happened? Again, something went wrong there. So
yeah. So again, the media took off. And what happened to that poor major who did this? Right? He was hauled up. He was taken to court, this, that, all that nonsense. Poor media, poor handling, poor information warfare, poor legal warfare. It's not only legal, poor handling of. In fact, I wouldn't say poor, it was absent.
Sir,
Okay, we
General
are
Ravi Shankar,
reacting to
I
the
have
whole thing.
something. I have to get something off of my chest, sir. That
Yeah,
time,
please.
Mufti Mehbooba is the chief minister. BJP is in a coalition government. They have the deputy chief minister, and this lady has the gall to call up the defense minister, the then defense minister, and not have the AFSPA give protection to somebody, and goes ahead and publicizes the whole news. Can't the BJP partner in that coalition say this is a red line you don't cross?
Well, look, that's the point. Pity. I mean, all I'll say, it's a pity. That's the pity of our system. Uh, it puts a lot of doubts in a political system. That's our problem. And I'll come to it a little. 2 minutes, I'll answer that
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Okay. This article I picked from an American magazine. You read it. The Chinese have been saying that this is what we're going to do against America. But yet Americans went and invested everything in America. Today their whole stocks are gone down. There are now great analysis in New York Times which says, look, Americans who put their money in China have lost their money and they'll never get it. So that's no analysis. You're pretty foolish. And the Chinese bought off all your media, bought everything off. And I would suggest all of you to freeze this frame later and read through this article. I'm not going to go through it. Okay. And as per this article, China has defeated America without firing a shot. And the Chinese, they bought virtually every TV network all over the countryside, which I told you earlier. Again, I've detailed everything in this. Have a look at it in your thing. They bought in America, they bought in Australia, they bought in Southeast Asian nation. Why go that far? The other day, for the American Chinese National Day, 2 full-page cutouts were there in HT, I think, and last year I remember seeing it in Hindu also. So Chinese were paying money to our national newspaper to carry their news, full page. And what's worse, oh, one of our chief ministers, wishes Xi Jinping on his birthday on a tweet. This is recorded. I'm not this thing. Okay. Oh, of course, I'll not touch on this. Look at, are we bad at information warfare and media warfare? These are Indian examples. No, or politicians, when it comes to getting power, getting voting, getting all that, they're fantastic. They're very imaginative. Let me examine the DMK model. I'm not talking about the current DMK. I'm talking about the times when Annadurai was alive, when they were struggling, and how they came to power in the 60s. They had this thing called Uday Suryan. That's their thing. They had songs about Uday Suryan, rising sun. What is rising sun? It represents a new dawn. So they were telling the poor people that we represent a new dawn, right? It didn't take it. It wasn't overnight success for them. It took them over a decade to make people understand the new dawn is DMK. And once that dawn came, it's never reversed. You see that, right? Then they were the champion of the poor. How did they project it? They used MGR those days. Okay. Movies like Rickshaw Karan. I don't know if people have seen that movie. People used to go to the cinema hall and throw money. And DMK had organized in every cinema hall where this movie was being run. DMK workers used to go and collect the money and go back. Apart from the ticket fee and all that. I mean, you are living in some other generation. Okay. Movies were the main vehicle, though in 60s, 70s, there was no TV in India. There was no all those media, social media and all that. It was only movies. You look at Karunanidhi. What was he? He was a scriptwriter. He would write. He would write. Some DMK chap will direct, and MGR will act.
MGR will act. Yeah.
Act. Later on, even Stalin acted in movies. Their message was through movies. People saw it. Their concept of social justice was through the stories, storytelling, narration. Why have we lost it? Why? Look, if their model was so successful, some chap in India should have said, let's use this model here. Okay. You might not like you might not like Gandhi. I mean, that's a different story. Whether Gandhi was right, wrong, you liked him, not liked him is not an issue. But he was a narrative. Why did you lose him? Do you have a counter narrative to what Gandhiji was? He's the father of your nation. You could have, he represented an ideology. It doesn't matter whether you like him or not, but he gave you victories. Okay, look, when you use every tool, media is a tool. You look at Gandhiji's own methodology, media, media of that time. Okay, now if narratives are through the movies to portray who's good, bad, and all, just think which is the last anti-China movie we saw in India? Hakikat. Tell me another anti-China movie. Why? Why doesn't all these Amir Khan, Salman Khan, all these Khans and all these other chaps who produce
Kumars.
pro-India movies, Kumar and wo jo bhi hai, why don't they come out with movies against China? And let me tell you, because movies like Dangal and Bungal and whatever they are, they're sold in China. China buys them. They give money. So China has bought your narrative capability, right? You don't get many anti-Pakistan movies except a few. Why? Because money. All these movies have to be sold in Gulf also. Yeah, I mean these are hard facts of life.
Can we
You
switch
have
to full screen, please?
yeah.
Can we switch to full screen, please? General Ravi Shankar, both these are telling the truth of what Pakistan does to India. and
Yeah, I
I'm
go with
still
you.
waiting for someone to make a movie out of it. Sir, I have done my
Yeah,
job. Nobody can tell me I didn't do my job. I've done my job.
no, no,
I've got two more stories. Go ahead,
yeah,
sir.
I go with you. Okay, then yeah, let's go back. Look at BJP. You had a fantastic narrative like Modi hai to mumkin hai. Ab ki baar Modi sarkar. But even the Congress had a great narrative. Well, they said suit boot ki sarkar. It caught people's imagination. And then ab ki baar 400 par. All those very catchy, very this thing. It caught everyone's imagination. Why are we silent at the national level? You're so imaginative in media wars and information campaign, discrediting Pegasus and this sus and that sus. When it comes to winning elections, when it comes to India, where are we? You know? Then you look at Netanyahu, see how he's gone. Okay. Now, why it's not versus the PM, it's more of a comparison. Look at our PM. If you go back to 2020, when the Chinese came to Eastern Ladakh, he had the guts to go to Ladakh with the chief of defense staff by his side and tell कि this is not the age of war. This is not the age of expansionism. He विस्तारवादी का जमाना नहीं है. I mean, though many of you would have forgotten it. He could do that. Why is it that we are not using that tool? We have one of the most effective communicators as our prime minister and influential. So why are we not using the tools at our disposal? Yeah, I think we've finished with the. Yeah, one more thing. Let me look at
Yeah.
this picture. Visual. Everyone talks of dragon, but dragon doesn't exist. Yeah, it's a mythical animal. Fire-eating dragon. Dragon does this. Dragon does that. Everything. No one talks of the sick lizard which China is today, which is actual reality. Why is the difference between the two? Media, cognitive warfare. You, to the extent when I talk about the reality of China and show the, sick lizard that China is, people troll me and say, "Don't know, you don't know, you fool. It is a fire-eating dragon." Yeah, we're done with this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
somewhere we have to understand that we don't even use the tools at our disposal. And I mean, to my knowledge, to my way of thinking, you probably never seen me come on TV, but I do go on TV, and the only channel I go to is DD because DD is the best channel. You might think I'm a fool to say this, but it has the capability of giving the best analysis. And it has the capability of giving nationally everyone. It reaches out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You NDTV, Republic, and all is not doesn't go to the grassroots people of this nation. And information warfare is not. It is not only against outsiders. It is also to support your own insiders and convince our own people that look, you are in good, safe hands, and our nation is doing well. If your nation is doing internally well, and if the people of this nation think they're doing well, then let me see one idiot coming from outside and telling a finger at us. It'll be broken. Okay. So there is a major issue as far as, I mean, if you look at it, whether the will to fight media wars, is it absent, is it present, or non existent? All I'll say it is we are ignorant of it. We are ignorant of it to do it at national level, but at our international level. But when it comes to fighting elections, making brownie points against opposition or for the government, you are very good at it. I'm not supporting any party, but everyone is culpable in this. उसमें तो we are mahir, okay. So and we have not cultivated a set of media. Half the information today I get about events internationally are through social media. I stopped buying a newspaper long back. It's not that newspapers are bad or something, but it's available to you on your mobile, everything. So why are you not using those? Why don't we have a portal where we can put India's opinion out and where people say, okay, what does India think? I can't go to Republic TV or NDTV. 10 of you given 6 different answers. Just think. You might have, in your opinion, NDTV is the best, or Republic is the best, or Vion is the best. But the fact is, in 10 names which have come out, you've shown me 6 channels. Is that India? It is a divided India. And each of this gets colored by the political lineage of that particular channel or who is this thing. It's not an Indian outlook. Okay. Everyone gets after, in this Trudeau, as if Trudeau is the only guy. For me, what? He's like a pretty toilet paper. I'll throw him out. That's all. He's got no value. The real value is other things. Why is India being treated like this? Is India so weak that some country like Canada has to speak like this? Don't you have tools in your hand to sort them out? That they don't have the guts to do it? Like you're doing the striker deal. Why do you need the striker? Throw it out. Can you send your student somewhere else? Can you get other universities to India and start your own thing? I mean, this is something I think all of us have to be very cognizant of, that wars may or may not be fought physically, but every day we are in a war of some kind. Okay, it could be like the other day, I did a video uh, of 6 subjects which had Indian interest. Okay, what are those 6 subjects? One was China stimulus. One was what was uh, China doing around Taiwan, those PLA drills which were carried out. Very significant to us. How many channels covered it? What is happening in Korea, North Korea and South Korea? It affects us. But do we know about it? Do we have a stand on it? We have a stake in it. But what is our stand on it? If you don't understand that, you will never understand China. I just covered these 3. Then I covered what's happening in West Asia. Everyone said, okay, Iran has gone nuclear. This is done. That is done. Okay. But what's happened after that? What is the current state of play there and where is it heading? And then I spoke about this Yahya Sinwar. That was yesterday night. And along with this, I spoke of Trudeau also. I covered about 6 subjects in one evening. That is the way we have. But does India have a stand on all these 6 subjects officially, where you can go, where you can say, oh, this is what India thinks about North Korea and South Korea fighting? I mean, I'm prepared to do program on why North Korea South Korea fight affects India badly someday. We don't even understand it. Many of us don't we won't even know where North Korea South Korea is. Forget about everything. So, and even national issues, even Manipur, who knows where Manipur is? So there are a whole lot of issues, I think, which we need a national level media. We have the resources. No other country has a better footprint than DD. Even China doesn't have. You combine, empower DD with good Twitter, good WhatsApp, good Instagram, and all that. Wow, you're going to be an information superpower within no time. Yes, sir.
Well, viewers, I want to ask all of you another question. By the way, the answer was Doordarshan, and I agree with General Ravi Shankar. Doordarshan was the last channel I had gone, and I'll tell you simple reason why I liked it. I was given 10 minutes or 15 minutes to explain my point of view, and I think I got two chances. Maybe the second time around was a little bit less, but at least I had the scope of time, not this 50-second pressure where you need to do something. If you don't, somebody else who doesn't want you to say much jumps in. They will not mute his mic. All sorts of nonsense happens. And anyway, let it go. So Doordarshan is what I would say. And I want to ask you another question, viewers. I'm just going to put up one picture here, and I want to ask how many of you have read this. Can you put up the picture, please? Okay, so this is a letter by Chicago Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy to the Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, expressing his anguish at the treatment of Hindus in Bangladesh. But it took a month and a half for us to get this letter out, because Congressman Raja is fighting a very tough election in Chicago. He's up for re-election in November. See, there is that thing that he needs to think about, but at least I salute him for standing up for the rights of Hindus. Now, tell me, viewers, just say yes or no. That's all I want. How many of you know about this news item? It appeared yesterday, and I immediately tweeted it out, and I'll show my tweet on what I told Secretary Blinken to do. Can you just show my tweet, please? Yeah, can you just expand that? So, all I'm saying is, look, you've gone in, you've got the sugar rush of having effected a regime change, but you have broken all the products in the pottery barn. And if you don't fix it, you have opened the gate for somebody else to drive their truck in China. Now, the point
Yeah,
I'm trying to make is Doordarshan has a Bengali channel. Doordarshan, using its Bengali channel, can take this particular story and make 3 or 4 episodes out of it. Because why? Because everybody knows America caused the regime change. And then there is a voice for the Hindus in America asking that this be probed. Doordarshan can do it just sitting in Delhi. I don't know if they're
yeah.
doing it or not.
What you brought out is a very important point, Sree, which I must tell everyone. You see, let's look at America. America is our strategic partner, and what happens there affects us. Let's not have doubts about it. Okay, and there's a significant diaspora of Indian diaspora in USA, and they're influential people, well-to-do people, and intelligent people. Now, the second generation, the third generation, Indian diaspora are becoming voices in their public, in their politics, in their government. They might not be Indians. Their allegiance must be American, and it should be so. But at the end of the day, at root, they are Indian, right? You have the ability to communicate with them. You have the ability to use their uh, good links with India, because some of them still have their mothers, grandfathers, and uncles and aunts, and all those the larger family back in India. I mean, it's a fact. After all, for the Vice President Kamala Harris, for her, many things, coconuts are broken in Tamil Nadu in her village, even now. So that's a reality. How? Why are we not using these as our lobby in USA? And when they express their words, why is it not being used? Right? Same thing. Like this has come out. There's this Mr. Chandra Arya in Canada.
Yes,
He's
Canada.
also given a Canada. He's spoken out. Okay. And I wouldn't have known about all this, but for the fact that I'm an interested party, I have a channel, I have to come in front of you and talk, so I read. And that's my, what shall I say, necessity. But why are others not getting interested in it? So we and everyone else has a lobby. The Pakistanis have a lobby. The Pakistani lobby is so strong, and those chaps can't even buy their next square meal. They are maintaining a lobby in USA with giving them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay. The Pakistanis, I mean, I don't know from where they get money to give those chaps millions of dollars who speak. And they speak against us. The net is that if you see in this Trudeau affair only, I call it a Trudeau affair. Okay. Now, what is coming out? There's a nexus between ISI and the Khalistani fellows who are operating there. Yeah, I won't call them Khalistan because there's no Khalistan. Where is Khalistan? These are terrorists who want Khalistan, and these are Canadian terrorists and American terrorists of Indian origin, aided and abetted by ISI, and through their lobby and that lobby is in USA and Canada. And who's the butt end of all these jokes? Indians. Why? We don't have the capability of carrying out a public information campaign or an influence operation or take up legal issues. I mean, I hope you're getting the seriousness of what I'm talking. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'm prepared to take on any questions.
A lot of questions today, sir. And viewers,
Yeah,
again,
we'll take it on.
Doordarshan has an excellent capacity. They do Urdu. They can easily add an Arabic channel.
Every language they have.
Yeah. It is so easy these days. And by the way, their staff are very good. They don't go to the fish market. They conduct it properly. It is done in a very decorum manner. Many of the guests that come on our channel go to Doordarshan also. For example, Rajagopal ji, General Ravi Shankar, Shankar Iyer ji. So who you are seeing on P Gurus, you are seeing there also. So Doordarshan has an excellent opportunity, and they don't have to go convince anyone. The budget is coming from the government. I mean, government should really start using this tool. It's a very powerful tool, very powerful tool.
Yeah. So I think we've covered the whole thing unless you have anything else to...
No, let's take some questions, sir. There are a lot of questions today for you.
Yeah, we'll take. I don't mind waiting and going through a little more time so that we can take questions. And I'd like to tell everyone who is watching this, on it's my personal behalf and on behalf of Mr. Sree Iyer and P Gurus, please subscribe to Gunner Shot and P Gurus because we like to interact with you people and take all your questions. And especially if you want detailed answers, everything, come to Gunner Shot. I go through all your questions, whether you're a member or not, whether you are it's a super or not, everything. I have every week 1 day where I take all your questions, including saying good morning to all of you or good evening.
And the answer to your question, my question, viewers, 90% of you said you did not know about the letter of Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy to the Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. It takes a lot of guts. Viewers, remember, Raja Krishnamurthy is in a very, very significant minority population, not Hindu, but other minorities. It is not easy for him to win this one. It must have taken him some time to decide that he needs to write this thing. And there was a lot of pressure, of course. I donate to his campaign. I'm telling you openly, I don't, because I see him as the only Hindu in the whole body of Congress who at least listens to me. He knows my name, and I can get 5 minutes of his time whenever he comes visiting. So I like to say that this is what these are my concerns, and he hears them and he listens to them. Anyway, just wanted to let you know, 90% of you did not know. 90%. That's just from the yes nos that I saw here. Now let's take some questions. Harshad Mehta wants to know becoming a YouTube member. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mungara Hariprasad. Thank you, Naresh Reddy Tummala. Thank you, Sanjay, for your super sticker. Thank you, Jagdish Yallapu, for your super sticker. Thank you, Sanji, for becoming YouTube member. Jay Puri Shankaracharya wants to know, USA uses stealth bombers. How do you see this move? Is USA keen on starting World War III?
No. Using stealth bombers doesn't mean it is World War III. It is there's no correlation. So relax.
Manoj Soma wants to know, and this is the two-part thing, so you have to put the second
Yeah.
part after you. The narrative Manipur issue is quite dangerous, sir. They made it as a Hindu-Christian issue. Why so, sir? There are gossip that US wants to create a separate nation out of Manipur. Like, can you go to the second part? Bangladesh, they are going for the Saint Martin Island. Your views on how India is tackling this situation? Are we ready in facing this issue and counter them with narratives?
See, first and foremost, there's no Hindu-Christian issue in Manipur. If those of you who know Manipur and who've been to Manipur, who lived in Manipur, who've been friends with Cookies, who've been friends with Nagas, who've been friends with Manipuris and all the other tribes which go there, around there, Imizos, Dimasas, all those Karbis, which are all there. There's no Hindu-Christian issue. This is a figment of imagination here, made by interested political parties in Delhi. So all this nonsense, there'll be a Christian state, there'll be, America will hive out all the bunk. Manipur, between Manipur and Bangladesh, there's Assam. So how can you carve out a state with Bangladesh and Manipur so far away? That's like East Pakistan, West Pakistan. There's no Christianity link also. Okay. So the St. Martin's Island is at the bottom end of Myanmar, actually. Okay. It's closer to Myanmar than Bangladesh. So these are all people don't know geography, they don't know the ethnicity there, they don't know the anthropology there, and it's all political. So don't please even think of all this nonsense. Just for your information, to give you a heads up, finally some sense seems to have dawned on this central government. After 2 years of this nonsense going on, they have called all the leaders to Delhi officially, elected representatives of Cookies, Nagas, and Manipuris, okay, to Delhi, and they're talking with them. Now they're talking individually, then they'll talk collectively, they'll come out with some solution. I'm sure it'll happen. So don't get carried away by this, narratives which come out by various interest groups. Yeah.
Next question, please.
No, this point, yeah, this is actually a very interesting thing. We are prepared to fabricate these narratives, propagate them, and believe them.
Yeah.
But what is good for the nation, we're not prepared to do it or not even able to do it. Just think how foolish we are. All of us, even I'm included in this. I don't exclude myself.
Next one, please.
Yeah.
Suresh Kumar wants to know, sir, the Hindu genocide in Kashmir has been whitewashed and media doesn't talk about it. Why are we not able to fight the counter narrative of minorities in danger in India?
Look, there's first and foremost, what happened then, you have a choice of looking in the rear view mirror and driving the car ahead. So when you drive the car ahead, you course correct for what's coming ahead. So let's correct ahead there. That doesn't mean you ignore what has happened. You see, I don't know, Suresh Kumar, where you are from. I I have a counter question to you. How many Kashmiri Hindus have you dealt with? How many Kashmiri Muslims have you dealt with? Two questions. I'm not saying there were no genocide. No, it was there. How many times have you gone to Kashmir and walked on the street? I mean, I've done all three. That's why I'm talking to you. Okay. And I've done that when bullets were flying. So if when you do all this, you don't get carried away by what you're saying. It's been whitewashed. Media doesn't talk. Media shouldn't talk. It's not good for us, to reignite flames. The time is now to, you just had a very good election out there. There's a new government. Everyone has voted that chief minister is making good noises. Our prime minister has also wished that chief minister well. Okay. It's now time to build bridges. Right? It's not time to keep talking of the minority majority issue. One of the problems with India is that we have never been internally strong. When you're not internally strong and your narratives are poor, all these incidents happen. And then you're exploited. Then you're exploited. And I blame the ruling party and the opposition of that time and this time. Both are complicit. I'm using the word complicit in this whole story. We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Chirantan Saha wants to know, what do you think is the main reason for Nijar Pannu issue to become so serious between India, Five Eyes relations? Is it because India continues to buy Russian oil, or is it something more deeper?
Yeah. So Chirantan Shah, I think you should see this video of mine which I put out, right? About yesterday morning, I think. Yesterday or day before. Yeah, day before. And which I did. Uh, I told you, 6 subjects which I did. It's called Turmoil Unlimited. Go to Gunner Shot, have a look at it. The first edition is about this only. You should be very clear that USA is playing ball, or USA is using this handle to rein India in. And I've explained this with diagrammatically in that video, which I can't explain now. But remember, you have relations with USA, you have relations with Russia, you have relations with China. Okay? With China, we have bad relations. With Russia, you have very good relations. With USA, you have 50-50 relations. Some good, some bad. But USA is your strategic partner for everything against China. Russia is not. Russia is a strategic partner for many things. And China is your enemy. Let's be very clear. As far as I'm concerned, what George Fernandez said 20 years back is the first dissertation I did on China, I quoted George Fernandez and I said, China is India's number one enemy. I stand by it. So he's your enemy. All of a sudden, you say that, look, get investment from China. Let's ease tensions. You put your what shall I say border on the back foot. You put the issue on the back foot that he's building a mega dam on Brahmaputra, which will affect your water. He's not listening to you. And then you say, no, you please come and invest in us. At a time, just think, at a time when his economy is poor, his GDP came out yesterday. It is prime pumped to 4.7%. It's clearly 1% more than what it actually is growth. Okay. Now, that fellow, he'll invest in you, take money away from you. That's been the history also. Take money away from you. And then what he'll do with that money, he'll build Brahmaputra Dam and ensure you don't get water. At the same time, he's put you in a position where you can't be against him. Right. And then you will cry. And then you'll go to USA. Why will USA do anything? China and Russia will anyway not do anything. Okay. Now you want to be friends with Russia. You want to be friends with USA. But you don't get cheap oil. So where do you go? You go to Russia. So, and you have an equation with Russia which you don't want to break. But is it possible that you want to have good relations with Russia, good relations with USA, and good relations with China and get away with it? Think. Okay, you're the guy with all 5 fingers and ghee, and you suck it out, and nothing left over for anyone else. Who will agree with it? So they will do what they have to do. This is real politics. That's why I said, have a look at that video. Okay, have a look at that video, and then come back to me, because I see at times you come on Gunner Shot also. Come on Gunner Shot and ask me this question, or put your comment there. I'll explain it to you. Yeah.
Next one, please. Sir, will India conquer AI narrative as an internet information sources? AI plays a major role in, especially narrative.
Uh, So yeah, you don't have a policy for narrative. कौन सा AI क्या करोगे? See, you have such fantastic tools for narrative. Your Bhagavad Gita is full of narrative. Your Mahabharata is full of narrative. Your Vishnu Puranas are full of narratives. They use narratives. The old, our ancestors use narratives beautifully. We don't use them. Okay. We don't use Chanakya's Niti as a narrative. Other fellow uses Sun Tzu. He'll use AI to quote Chanakya through Sun Tzu, and you'll believe it also. Unless you have to think. AI will not help you think. Remember, AI is artificial intelligence. What is between our ears is real intelligence. If this fails, no, that won't succeed. That I can assure you. That might fail. This won't fail. Yeah.
Srinivas Gopal wants to know, sir, I am a member of Vancouver Club. It's hard to enlighten locals because they don't want to hear anything other than their national narrative. Facts are perceived to be lies. How to persuade them?
Yeah, that's how it is. You have to go and debate with them. You have to go speak to them. You have to be on their, you have to fight on their battlegrounds. It's not going to be easy. I understand your thing completely. You have to have your own voice where people start listening. Look, and you have to stay the course. Let me tell you this. Uh, I started this thing of Ghana shot. Why? Because I found that the Chinese narrative was the people were running away with it. So I started Ghana shot. People said, yeah, at your old age, you're already 65 years old, you're starting a channel. Are you mad? I said, no, there's a requirement. It's a national requirement. Okay. When I started, people said, oh, what are you doing? You go to P Gurus, go to what the Jaipur Dialogues, go to Adi's channel and keep talking. We'll listen to you. You make good entertainment. But look, but that was not my aim. My aim was not to entertain people. My aim was to give a narrative or side of the story. The real China. Is it a fiery breathing dragon or a sick lizard? Over a period of time, people now say, sir, what you're talking of China is logical. People who were laughing at me in 2020 today say, sir, whatever you have said about China is correct. So it took me now almost 3 to 4 years. So people now start believing me. So similarly, if you are a member of Vancouver Club, start your own media in some form. That media could be debate, it could be a written page, it could be WhatsApp group, it could be anything. But talk. As you keep talking with facts, figures, logic, people will listen to you. You know, there's something called the power of truth. Truth has its power. Uh, you know, I want. Do we have time? Because I want to narrate this story to people.
Yes, we do, but I want to ask one question before I yield the floor back to
Yeah, yeah.
you. Viewers, because this interaction helps all of us to understand where we are going with the story. Age is just a number. Tell me, all of you, you all know the brand Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. You all know that thing. How old was Colonel Sanders when he started KFC? Answer. Go to you. Back to you, sir.
Yeah. I was serving in the Northeast in a tribal area. So one evening, I get a message, sir, there's a girl who has been kidnapped by one of your officers, and she's a tribal girl. I say, oh, look, let me check. And this news is going, viral. They have their local, bush stories. And those days, that bush was the SMS. Through SMS links, it went viral. So I came to know about 3, 4 hours later. I checked from that officer. I said, look, uh, do you have this girl? He said, no, sir. I said, what happened? He said, sir, this girl came to my house with another fellow. And they said some story they gave. I said, look, I'm not interested. Please go. They didn't go. So this girl and that boy, he took them to her house, left them there, and told that mother, look, take care of whatever you have to do. So end of story. He came back. And then after that, he didn't know that girl and boy followed him. And in between, they vanished. People saw that girl and boy following this officer. So the inference was this girl and boy were taken back into the army camp. That's the logic thing. But and we couldn't convince people. By next day, it was all over Northeast. Everyone in the Northeast was listening. So I had to. This officer was a wreck by next day morning. A young officer about to get married. So he's implicated. And in the Northeast, things like rape, shape, yeah, was up. So I had to pull him out and put another officer there and did everything. Yeah. I said, look, don't worry. Let's find the girl first. It took me 6 months to find that girl. And what had happened was, when this officer was coming back, that boy and girl followed him to a point. At some point, they vanished. And they caught a train and vanished from there. And, 6 months later, we found she was pregnant. And that fellow was also we caught. We caught them, got them back, and put them all over TV, all that, and said, "This is the power of truth." I mean, you'll ask me now that that girl was 14 years old, and that boy was 16 years old. Okay, this is a true fact. And in this entire thing, I said, go through magisterial inquiry, go through this inquiry, that inquiry, yeah, whoa, all that. And ultimately, after 6 months, I proved that look, this is the truth. Now you will say, look, so what if? After that incident, for the rest of my tenure there, no one questioned me. What I said was God's gospel. People said, ये commander के साथ सच ही मिलेगा. In the entire area of mine. Incidentally, I was also handling Tripura and South Assam. It's not a small area. No one questioned me. So you have to establish that power of truth, and then everything comes into place. Sorry, Shriyaji, I had diverted because I think people need to understand that you have to be at it for people to understand finally that your word will prevail.
No, sir, it was a wonderful story. And viewers, Colonel Sanders was 69 years old when he started KFC. And there is no mall nowhere in the world that does not have a KFC today. Just wanted to tell you that, don't look at these numbers. 69 is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question, please. Naresh wants to know, are we going back to the same time like the British era where we are getting broken at the time when we have it together?
I don't think so. Today you know a lot of things because of media, right? And they appear broken. But look at a lot of things which are going right. Right? I mean, very often the human mind is such that we don't look at the positive, we look at the negative. We look at the dark side of the story. Because, like they say in, media, um, a dog biting a man is not news, but a man biting a dog is news. Okay. So you have to look at it from that point of view. Don't worry. Naresh, just relax. We're doing well.
Sanji wants to know, why can't we have a border fence wall to stop illegal immigration from Bangladesh?
It's already there. Incidentally, there's a border fence as much as what is there in against Pakistan. That's not the point. The problem is somewhere else. Okay.
General hint some things. You have to connect the dots.
No, look, okay. That has something to do with politics, that has to do with corruption, that has something to do with many other things. And the fact is that we don't treat Bangladeshis the way we treat Pakistanis. Obviously. Pakistan, we're very strict. And on the LC, the army is in charge of the fence. So anything happens with Pakistani, you open fire. Against Bangladesh, we are a little softer. And the offense is with BSF. So even in against Pakistan in the IB sector, south of Jammu, it's banned by BSF. They do a good job, but their problem there is not much. Here, there's a problem of illegal immigration. People want to go because they don't have space, Lebanon from their point of view. So there are other issues which come up here. There is issue of cow smuggling, beef. Bangladesh wants beef. Where does it go from? It goes from Bihar. It doesn't go from anywhere else. You'll be surprised. Dogs are smuggled there. Dogs. They go to Nagaland. So you will find a lot of rackets in that area, which you couldn't have imagined also. So there are other angles to this. That is why. Otherwise, the fence is perfect and fine.
Next one, please.
Yeah. It's a colored periodic table. I like that, so my daughter put it up. I use it. It keeps me rooted to science.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar. And viewers, that was a wonderful session from all of you. You interacted with us. And General Ravi Shankar, words fail me, sir. This is a wonderful interaction. See, we are trying to kind of go outside what we feel is, or, we're not talking about gunners here, no artillery.
No. We have to, that's all. The last thing I want to tell you all, you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Till the day I retired from service, I never spoke to the media. I never wrote a word. I never wrote an article. I never gave an opinion anywhere. If anyone from the media came to me, I kicked them out of my office. This is a fact. But after I retired, I said, look, I'm now an elder statesman. Okay. Whatever I have to leave behind. And how do I leave behind? I leave behind by writing. I leave behind by telling people whatever experience I've gained. And I leave behind by, all that. And whatever experience I've gained about whether China or geopolitics or life, I need to share it with others. Some of you might think, oh, well, this old fool living from a different, kind of an environment comes and speaks all this nonsense. It doesn't gel with what's happening today. But well, it does, right? It does. Unfortunately, it does. So, like you said, if an old the guy who started KFC at 69 can start an international brand, mine, I'm not out of time. I'm still ahead of time. Right? And we need to share and we need to understand each other. A nation grows only if the old and the new walk together and we walk the talk together. That's the point.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, like, share, and subscribe to both our channels, Gunner Shot and P Gurus. And we'll be back again, same time next week, and with a new topic. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.